Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third video blog of the day for Thursday, June 2nd, 2016, around 4:43 in the afternoon, Berwick, Massachusetts. The sun came out after the clouds thinned out during the afternoon, and it's in the 70s. Tomorrow, some rain showers. Saturday is the pick of the weekend because Sunday could be a washout. Some news to report. The Toronto Raptors re-signed their head coach Dwayne Casey to a 3-year contract extension. Also, ESPN has announced they re-signed the number one play voice for the NBA on ESPN on ABC, Mike Breen, to a long-term extension contract, and they also re-up with Brett Musburger for a new deal for the SEC network. You are looking live, so congratulations to them. And it's Happy National Leave Work Early Day, and Sam Rosen, play-by-play announcer of the New York Rangers, has been awarded the Forrest Stewart Memorial Award for Broadcasting Excellence in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And that's about it on the news. My third video blog subject for the day is my review of starrcade 2000, the 18th and final WCW Supercard pay-per-view from Washington, D.C. at the MCI Center, which is now the Verizon Wireless Center. The main event was for the WCW World title. It was Scott Steiner facing off against Sid Vicious, plus other matches. Calling the action was Tony Schiavone. This is the greatest night in wrestling history. Mark Madden and Scott Hudson. No dark matches for this pay-per-view, so here they are. The first match was a ladder match with the winner getting a shot at the Cruiserweight Champion, who was Chavo Guerrero Jr. It was Sugar Shane Helms, who became the Hurricane in WWE, and Shannon Moore facing off against Jimmy Yang and Katsei and Jamie Noble and Evan Courageous, and this was a very exciting ladder match. It was high-paced. Shane Helms and Shannon Moore won in about 13 minutes when they threw the other wrestlers off the ladder. It was pretty awesome. The next match was Lance Storm with Major Guns and Eli Skipper facing off against Ernest the Cat Miller with Mrs. Jones. Before the match, Lance Storm just said something like degrading. It took 37 days for the U.S. to decide a president, and he blasted America. This was a back-and-forth match. Ending had Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who was with Lance Storm, with Team Canada, reluctant hit Ernest the Cat Miller because he just didn't like his character, didn't like being with Lance Storm after a while because it got boring. The next match was for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Not the WCW Hardcore Championship. It was Crowbar with Daphne facing off against the hardcore legend Terry Funk. You egg-sucking dog, you Dusty Rhodes. And this was about a 10-minute match. It was basically a hardcore match, fighting. In the end, Terry Funk gave the pile driver to Crowbar and pinned him 1, 2, 3. The next match was a tag team match. It was Chronic facing off against Big Vito and Reno with Maria, not that WWE diva, some other diva. And this match was Chronic was Brian Clark and Brian Adams, and it was a decent tag team match, about 8 minutes in. Reno turns on Big Vito and Sean O'Hara and Mike Sanders and Mark Jindrix and Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo come down. They were the Natural Born Thrillers, and Reno joined the Natural Born Thrillers, and they paid off Chronic for this match, and Chronic just watched, and all of the Natural Born Thrillers beat up Big Vito. It was an awful match. The next match was an ambulance match. It was Mike Awesome, that 70s guy, the fat chick Thriller. WCW ruined his career, facing off against the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow. And this was an 8-minute match. It was awful ending. Had Mike Awesome hit on Bam Bam Bigelow with an object, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Bam Bam Bigelow left the arena on an ambulance. The next match was for the United States Championship. It was General Rection of the Misfits in Action, who was Hugh Morris, Bill DeMont, who was the reigning U.S. champion, facing off against the franchise Shane Douglas. This was a decent match, back and forth action. Shane Douglas tried to cheat, but Chavo Guerrero was told the referee that Shane Douglas was using a foreign object, and referee sees it, automatically disqualifies Shane Douglas, but Shane Douglas continues to beat up on General Rection. Chavo Guerrero Jr. Rescues him, but he gets beaten up by the franchise, and he delivers a franchise to both of them. The next match was a 6-man tag team match. It was Jeff Jarrett, the Chosen One, and Ron and Don Harris facing off against the Filthy Animals, Conan, Rey Mysterio Jr., and Billy Kidman with Tigress. And this was a great 6-man tag team match. Ending had the Ron and Don Harris attack Kidman, and they fought with Conan and Rey Mysterio. That took Jeff Jarrett to do the stroke and pin Kidman for 1, 2, 3. Kidman missed a shooting star press during this match, which was pretty amazing. The next match was for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. It was Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, You Love Me, You Hate Me, You Never Forget Me, Feel the Bang, Self High Five. That's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. And Kevin Nash, Big Sexy, facing off against the WCW World Tag Team Champions, Shawn Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo, representing the Natural Born Thrillers, with Mike Sanders in the corner. There was a special stipulation: if Mike Sanders interfered in the match, DDP and Kevin Nash would win the WCW World Tag Team titles automatically. And this was a great match, back and forth. DDP and Kevin Nash survived beatdowns by the other members of the Natural Born Thrillers, but they protected them, and eventually Kevin Nash gave Chuck Palumbo the powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. Kevin Nash and DDP are the new WCW World Tag Team Champions. And the next match was a no disqualification match. It was Bill Goldberg, facing off against the Total Package Lex Luger. And halfway through the match, Dwayne Bruce, Bill Goldberg's trainer, and Buff Bagwell, I am Buff and I am stuffed, interfered, and Buff Bagwell put the blockbuster on Bill Goldberg, but Bill Goldberg didn't feel the pain. He knocked out Bagwell and gave the spear to Lex Luger, pinning him 1, 2, 3. And the last match ever held at Starrcade was for the WCW World title. It was the man that rules the world, Sid Vicious, facing off against WCW World Champion Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, with Magician in his corner. And this match was, okay. There was a lot of interference by wrestlers, back and forth. Ending at Jeff Jarrett hit Sid Vicious with his guitar. Sid Vicious was knocked out, and then Scott Steiner puts the Steiner recliner on Sid Vicious, and Sid Vicious taps out, and that was it. And that ended the 8-tier 18-year run at Starrcade. Nobody knew this was the last Starrcade until March of 2001 when WWE bought WCW. And the last Starrcade ever to happen, I would give it a D-. What a way to go out. Very, very poor card. This was, the WCW was dying a slow death of leprosy. And that's all 18 Starrcades I reviewed. Maybe soon I could review all the Clash of Champions or all Saturday night's main events or all in your houses. That's coming up very soon. Fourth and final video blog's coming up, and it will be about my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Bert Blyleven. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Penny guy. Molly Roseblood, the WCCOX, and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swensley's so cute. Linda Church is a cougar. She has nice legs. And in the words of Dee Patel, as we know, bye bye.